Hi, everyone, and welcome to this live webinar, virtual tour of Beachbody coaching. So first of all, I want to thank you all for taking this time out of your day to actually meet with me and learn whether coaching is something that can potentially bring value to your life, as well as the lives of the people around you. So these are the few questions that you see on the screen that we will briefly cover today. That is a lot to cover. So let's jump right in it, and hopefully we'll have time for questions in the end. Also, guys, bear with me if there's some technical difficulties. I am learning as we go as well. So how did it all start? How did the company Beachbody and Team Beachbody come to be? So it started in 1998 as a little infomercial company with workout programs like P90X, Insanity, Turbofire, etc. You've probably heard of a few of them. And of course, they drew attention and people were buying the programs, but just making the sales wasn't good enough for the company. It wasn't actually the company's goal to begin with. And not very many of the people who did buy the programs were actually completing those programs, because there was no support, no accountability, no motivation for them to do it other than whatever resources they could come up with on their own. And of course, there was no way for the company to even check on people, answer their questions, help with their problems. They could never find out who actually did the program, with maybe the exception of those few brave individuals who shared the whole thing on YouTube or Facebook or other social media. And actually, those few people became the first coaches. So obviously there was a link missing, that support that helps people to get through the process, instead of just starting a program and then having it sit on your shelf for the rest of your life. So the next thing that happened to try and bring that in was a Beachbody forum on their Beachbody website, where people could comment, discuss issues, and share some motivation and share some useful information. And actually those who had already done the programs and who had the experience and even the desire to help others were helping the newbies, so to speak, or coaching them through the whole process, just naturally sharing what worked for them. And that, you guys, was a major breakthrough that led to Team Beachbody. The company noticed that people were actually getting results and sticking with the programs, and they were reaching their goals and lives were changed. So the founders of Beachbody thought that it would only make sense to reward those who on their own time and dime were coaching people. And maybe then they can have more support and more motivation and help more people change their lives and regain or improve their health. So in 2007, this career opportunity was created, that is Team Beachbody and coaching. And that was that missing link in the complete formula for success, which is nutrition, fitness, and support. Support is where we coaches come in. They did look at several different business models to find a way to reward those loyal customers of theirs who love their products so much and were putting the time and effort to help other people. And the network marketing was the one they stopped at just because it made the most sense. I have a picture of Carl Deichler here, Carl D. He is actually the Beachbody CEO as a challenger with his before and after picture of their own program, their own product, which is really cool because they're not just talking the talk. They're actually walking the walk along with us. They're doing the programs. They are working now. They're improving their health. They are working on their business, and then they're drinking Shakeology. And that, to me, you guys, that is a pretty huge thing in business. So now that you know a little bit about the company itself, I'd like to share with you my story just a little. So let's go back to 2011. I was working a seasonal job at a restaurant, waiting tables at this national park. I was away from my husband, from my new husband, the whole summer, pretty much the whole season that the seasonal work lasted. And that's when a friend of mine introduced me to P90X. That was her birthday gift that she was so excited to use. And that was like nothing I've ever done before. So we did the program as long as we were there working. But We moved away, the season ended, and of course I quit. And then I consulted with my brother-in-law that was at the time in special forces, and he told me, oh yeah, P90X is the real deal. So I went ahead and bought it for myself, and I started doing it, but this time I had no workout partner, so I quit. And then I started again. I was seeing results. It was pretty good. But when the times came that when I needed that support, well, what did I do? I quit again. That was that missing piece. And all those years since then, I had respect for the company and I loved the workouts, but I had no clue there was such thing as coaching even available for people. And you know what? That's okay because I wasn't ready. It was obviously not meant to be. I just couldn't at that point in my life. I couldn't break away from the job mindset, waiting tables while going to college. I graduated with a 4-year degree, luckily with no debt, but I still couldn't find a job with what I was doing or what I was studying. So then me and my husband had a baby later, and I realized that I could just completely forget about earning income of any sort. I just couldn't bring myself to leaving this little kid, with some people that I don't even know. I don't have family here to watch him like we do back in Russia. So I was pretty unhappy where I was, and I gained weight again, and I was unhappy with what my life has become. I was pretty depressed. I was actually depressed to the point where I wasn't even enjoying anything in life anymore. Not even my baby, not even the dance that I loved so much. Fighting with my husband all the time. We were on the verge of a divorce, and I just pretty much gave up on myself. I gave up on dreaming altogether. So I only had two choices: either just medicate myself into existence with some antidepressants and just fight through every day to make it even through, or drastically change something in my life. So that's a whole different story, you guys, how I pulled myself out of the situation that I'll save for some other time. But the main thing is I started to learn. I decided to change something, and I started to learn how to love myself again. I started to learn how to love my body with all the flaws and all the imperfections of my character, which I consider to be. So I started taking care of myself, started dreaming again, started working out again. And I actually felt like taking care of your body was the easiest, the fastest way to mastering that self-love that we all struggle with and that confidence. And I am convinced to this day that all the suffering in the world and all the conflicts are actually a result of unhappy people who hate themselves, who are not happy with themselves and who treat themselves accordingly. And of course, they treat the others the same way. What else can they do? So there was a point in my life when I was ready to pay it forward. I was actually thinking about becoming a personal trainer, already looking at the resources that were available to me. But that, of course, was a someday type of dream to me. I needed the money first, and then I needed to go study for it second, and then maybe I can start working with some people. And that's when coaching came into my life, actually. I was already familiar with the company, so it was a no-brainer to me. I wasn't down in it. I already loved the workouts. Of course, as soon as I heard that there was a shake, and you all know about Shakeology, hopefully, I became the biggest skeptic. But I did my research. It didn't take long, and it was the best thing I've ever seen on the market. So of course I wanted it, and of course I said, oh my goodness, yes, I do want to recommend it to everyone. I see incredible value in it for everybody's health. And I just couldn't believe my eyes that such an incredible product was even out there. So that's how I became a Beachbody coach. Not even as much excited about turning this into a business and making income with it as in helping people, helping more people change the world and change their lives and change the world through that. So here I am actually earning income doing what I love and not tied to a place or a boss or a certain rules and so forth. So let's talk concerns. There are a lot of concerns that people have going into this business. And you know what? I would too. And I actually did. So we've all seen the salesy, sleazy salesy companies who only care about making the sales, who left their agents just hanging with a bunch of product that was sitting in a garage or in their house or whatever, and it was up to them to get it off their hands and get rid of it. So of course it kind of created a bad rap for the network marketing to begin with. But it is so important to understand that that is not the case anymore, and definitely not in this company. What we believe is integrity, honesty, hard work, change of lifestyle. Even as it comes to fitness, we don't believe in quick fixes of any kind. And in everything you do, most importantly, we believe that we gotta do unto others as we wish others would do to you. And I personally hate being sold. I don't know about you guys. I hate high pressure techniques. I hate it when people try to instill fear in my mind to try to sell me something and convince me that I need to buy something. So hey, of course, I don't want to be treated like that, and I will not treat anybody else that way. It's as easy as that. Selling stuff is not what we do. In fact, if you think you are just absolutely the worst salesperson out there, that is great, because we do need people exactly like you. What I do is not sell stuff, not push anything down people's throats. What I do is share something that I love with other people, something that I believe will bring value to their life. And I believe it with all of my heart. And you guys, if you think about it, don't we all naturally share our favorite things with people? Like movies and restaurants and recipes and songs. Of course we do, and so do I. And Beachbody and the workouts and the meal plan, which is pretty genius, and Shakeology just happen to be on that list. So let's move on. If you look at the corporate world, there are rules and protocols everywhere you go. You gotta be a cookie cutter and do as you're told, up to things like ridiculous things like your hairstyle or what you wear to work or how you approach people. But when you're a coach, that is actually not the case. And it's the exact opposite, in fact. Even though you do have lots of help and support and advice and tools to help you be successful, you get to be yourself. You build this business your way, with your personality and around your values and around your family and your lifestyle. And you actually lead with those differences. Every one of us, including you, you are unique. And here is where you get to shine and be you. So, and if you don't know how, all right, you get to figure it out through doing personal development, which is pretty much mandatory in this business. Isn't it the best, you guys? Okay, moving on. Like I said already, we don't push products on anyone, and especially so on our friends and family. And trust me, first of all, when they see the changes in you, they'll be asking you themselves. You might not have a huge network right now, and that's not an issue either. In reality, we need all kinds of people out there. And if our loved ones today are not in need of what we have, or they just don't want it, or they don't feel the same as we do, well, that's okay, because there are millions of people out there who desperately need our help with their health, with their fitness, with their confidence levels, or with their self-love, or building a business from home like we do. And finally, another big concern. We sometimes wonder whether we're even qualified to coach others. We might not be in best shape of our lives. We might not be in a perfect form or health. We might not know much about fitness or nutrition. We're not experts of any sorts, or even know how to run a business. But again, that is okay, you guys. Why? First of all, we have the best of the best out there. We have the best nutritionists. We have celebrity trainers who put together these professional, well-designed programs and tools for us to use. And our job is nothing more than to help people find these tools and use them to achieve their goals. They are so valuable, and you will see it as you start using them yourself. And especially to those people who just don't know where to start, who go to the gym and look at these machines and they have no idea what to even do with them, so they end up going home embarrassed. Who can't pay for instance, a gym membership, mess with daycares and all of that, pay for personal trainer sessions, and have all that great nutrition, and or just don't have time to put into the research that needs to go into this, and trial and error and so forth. And the thing is that everybody already wants what we have. I guarantee you it's just about everybody's goal to get fitter, get healthier, lose some weight, or maybe get out of financial pickle, so to speak. So I don't have to go out there and twist people's arm and try to convince them that they need this. They already know it. So let's talk money for a minute. There are these three main ways that people earn income in our world. And the majority of people, I would like to say, stick with the first or the second option, which is college or a job. When we go to college, there's the average tuition for Utah State is just over $20,000 for a 4-year degree, and that if you are in state. And we put that time and we put that money into this degree that in hopes that it will get us set up for a job in the future. And of course, not everybody has that opportunity. Luckily, I did. My husband did, just because he was in the military. But what happened? We were not able to get jobs with our degrees. Maybe not the best choice of a degree, but it can happen to anybody, right? So there is a second option for those who just can't afford college for one reason or another. Just go straight for a job. So I live in Utah, so here's the Utah average household income per year is $58,000. And Utah actually ranks pretty high among all the states. It's number 9. And of course, you've got your minimum wages here. $7.25 is the minimum for Utah, and you get your weekends, right? And you get your vacation days, that about 11 to 13 per year. But the problem with that is that actually you only have 24 hours a day, and there's only that many hours you can trade for those dollars. And then the rest is just, it interferes with your personal life, interferes with family life, interferes with your sleep or social life of any kind. So basically you just live trading your hours for dollars, and you are at the mercy of those who are employing you for a promotion or a raise. And then there's a third way, which is a franchise ownership. Well, we won't talk about your own businesses here, but let's talk franchise. So that's what basically where you are buying into a well-established company to open your own location. An average cost of a franchise is $35,000, and that, you guys, just the franchise. That doesn't include the building or any of the startup costs, employing people, etc. Which you can see the investment is pretty high, so that option is very, very limited to only people who can afford that. So let's look at the risk factors of traditional franchise and Beachbody coaching. Let's look at it as owning a franchise, because you are buying into a well-established company that does its own advertising, spends millions of dollars a year for that, already develops their own product. So a traditional franchise. We have already talked a little bit about the cost of it. So what do we have to do to get that? Mortgage homes, take out high interest loans, max out our credit cards to do it all for a dream. And then the investment obviously is huge. And what does it do to us? Puts us under a lot of pressure, fear of loss of that. And there's vested interest and skin in the game, and we are motivated to the core to work as hard as we can to make that work out. Now with Beachbody coaching, the sign-up fee is $39.95. Okay, so that's $40. And after that, it's roughly $16 monthly. And if you have ever bought a challenge pack, or you are signing up with a challenge pack, that fee is even waived. And the challenge pack is a combination of a workout program, usually a meal plan and Shakeology. So you get to improve your health as well and your fitness while building your business. Active military and veterans are free. My husband's in the military, so I am building this business for free. Isn't that great? But there is a problem with that. The investment is so minimal that a lot of people just don't have that vested interest. They don't see it as a huge risk factor, which it is not, but they also don't treat it as a huge opportunity. They treat it as a hobby. And what is it going to do then? It's going to pay as a hobby, right? So let's look at the rules by which franchises operate. If you buy into, let's say you want to open a Subway or a McDonald's location, you got to operate by the strict guidelines created by that franchise. You have zero creativity, you have a protocol. And your success is based on nothing but your own efforts. So you are there on your own, and it's all up to you. It is basically the survival of the fittest. Now with Beachbody coaching, it is completely different. The only rules there are is be you and build your business with people from your niche market. So you get to work with the people who you resonate with, that are similar to you in interests or personality or some other factors, which is just great because you are never alone. You are building a team who are, hopefully you have a great upline, or if not, you are building a team. You get to actually hand select people that are going to be working with you. How great is that? Where else do you see that? That is just how it works. And your story of success, whether it be in something little like your own fitness, if that's even a little thing, that is huge for a lot of people, right? So your story inspires someone, and then their story inspires someone else, and then their story inspires someone else. And that creates this ripple effect that comes from you. Your actions create this, so to speak, the only thing I can call it is a ripple effect. We inspire someone else and someone else and someone else, and it just grows out. That's how this whole business works out. And that's where we often look at it and we think pyramid. Okay, it kind of looks like one, doesn't it, from the first glance? But let me show you the difference. So the term pyramid scheme, first of all, where does it come from? It is applied to companies, so to speak, companies, quote unquote, without a real product where you make money by just signing people up underneath you. And of course, the sooner you sign up in that company, the more money you're going to be making by basically ripping people off, right? Those people who are signing up and those very, very unhappy faces on the bottom. That, you guys, first of all, is illegal in this country, even though I have seen those in action. I'm not going to lie about that. But that is not at all how Beachbody coaching works. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let's check out the way our entire corporate structure and even our military structure is set up. My husband actually helped me put together that little pyramid. Who makes the most money? The person on the top, right? And how did they get up there to the top? Hopefully hard work, but quite possibly connections or money or just knowing the right people or favoritism, plain and simple. And what about those guys at the very bottom? Do they get to do as they please? Nope, they are just taking orders there. And the lower they are, the less money they make, and the more crap, excuse my French, they are taking from everybody else who are a little higher in the hierarchy than them. And what are the chances of those little birdies on the bottom getting up to the top and even out-earning somebody who is placed above them in that structure? They are pretty slim. So as an employee, you would have to work harder than anyone and not only do your job perfectly, but you do everybody else's job around you. And only then, if there is a spot opens, if a spot opens even in your lifetime, somewhere up higher, you might get that promotion that you've been dreaming about. But still, you are at the mercy of those above you. Not so with coaching opportunity. I am not at the top of the pyramid by any means, but I made a decision for myself to do my personal best, to connect with a lot of people and help them with their goals, whether it be in fitness or health or their financial situation. And trust me, you can out earn your upline by hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if you sign up years after them. And I know there are companies out there where your sole purpose is to just sign people up because you get a huge commission from recruiting somebody. And if they succeed from there, okay, cool. If they don't succeed, not my problem. See, here at Beachbody, we don't get paid anything, not a dime for just signing somebody up as a coach versus them being just a client of mine. So the only way I benefit is if you succeed. My sole purpose here is not to sign anybody up, but to help them succeed. And the thing is, you don't have to buy anything for resale, nothing, not a thing. You don't have to touch anybody's credit card or anything. That's why you have those websites, and the company deals with orders and processing and shipments and returns and customer service. That is what that $15.95 per month is that for. Piece of cake, right? So what does coaching look like in real life? What do we all do all day? It is actually very simple. You can make it complicated, I guess, but to me it's pretty simple. First of all, you work on your own transformation. You work on your own health and fitness as the first thing. And then second thing is personal development. You grow as a person. You teach yourself new things. You ask your upline for help, for tools. There's tons of tools that the company shares with all the coaches. And then you just share your story. You invite other people to join you on this journey, in this transformation. And this is where I find social media very helpful and such a blessing, just because you can reach to so many more people than you'd even consider realistic in your everyday life. But then again, that depends on your goals. It is your business, and you get to decide how much time and effort you even want to put in it, or what exactly you even want to get out of it. So roughly there are 3 types of coaches out there. We've got a discount coach, a hobby coach, and a business builder coach. A discount coach is somebody who loves the product, who uses it on a monthly basis, but wants nothing to do with the business side of it. They want to make 0 sales, and they just want a discount, which is pretty sweet. You get to save 25% on everything the company has to offer. Sounds pretty good to me. So then we've got a hobby coach. Maybe it's a person that already has a career or a job that they enjoy, but they also love the product and they occasionally share it with someone else. So that's a great way to make a little extra cash for maybe a new outfit or a little vacation with your family or some dinners out. Who knows? And then we've got last type is a business builder. That is the type of person that is all in this business, that is working on replacing or exceeding their current income and working towards financial freedom. And in this company, you guys, a coach has a potential to earn up to $12,000 per week. That is quite a bit. And of course, it doesn't have to be set in stone or anything. So what we often see happening is a person, joins for just the discount, but they end up inspiring others. So they move into the hobby coach area. Or a hobby coach decides that they love coaching more than their regular job. So they start working towards making it their full-time income and replacing their job. That is, again, totally up to you. I happen to be in the business builder category. I started out that way immediately, and to this day, I don't really see myself, doing it as a hobby or anything. It has brought so many positive things into my life, and we all just love this business for different reasons, but the main ones are just listed right here. First of all, friendships. We make great friends that we feel like we've known for ages, and these are the people that actually get you. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and this is where it rings especially true. Then, of course, we love the freedom, as in freedom with our schedules, freedom with our lives, freedom with our location where we work from, and freedom financial freedom, of course. We get to live the life by design. We are in the process of moving right now, but I don't have to give up my job just because my husband got a job somewhere else. So that is not even an issue in our lives. And of course, personal development is one of my favorite parts. If you get nothing else out of this business, personal development and growing yourself as a person is worth everything. You get to actually enhance your personality rather than bring it down and try to suppress it. You get to lead with that personality. And we have this supportive, positive environment. And of course, the residual income is great. We don't just spend our lives trading our lives away for these dollars just so that we can feed ourselves. The residual income is great. And when I talk about friendships and support and this positive environment, I can't not mention our wonderful team of people who are coming from all these different backgrounds and nationalities and professions and personalities and ages even. And instead of competing with each other like elsewhere, we just adore each other. We lift each other up and help each other succeed. And that's how this entire business model is set up. We're all different, yes, but we are passionate about one thing, is a healthy lifestyle and helping people. And we see value of what we do, not only for ourselves in our lives, but also for the rest of the people out there. This is where you are never alone. Our team actually offers quite a few resources right here. We've got weekly team call trainings, training calls. We've got small group coaching trainings. We've got apprenticeship academy options, which is our new coach academies. Usually it takes 21 days, but 60 days is an option as well. And social media training. I understand that not everybody is computer savvy or social media savvy, but we all come here to learn and to use these tools and then use them to enhance our business and then teach somebody else about it. And of course, you get one-on-one training with your coach who knows you personally and totally gets your situation and just gets who you are, and you get to share with them what your goals are. And we have this positive environment to thrive in, and we get to dream big, you guys. So here is another concern. What happens if you sign up and just a few months into it, you realize you just completely stink as a coach and nobody wants to join you, you're just no good at it. And you've tried everything and still nobody wants to join you. That, first of all, let me tell you, is very, very unlikely. I wouldn't even worry about that. But if that happens, if there's a fear that needs to be, a breakthrough that needs to happen through that fear. Okay, let's see. Let's say you've bought a challenge pack, or you've for $140, or you just paid the $40 sign-up fee without getting a challenge pack. Well, now you have better health, hopefully, if you've been working at it. You are in better shape. You have all the tools that you need to take care of yourself better. You get to focus on yourself a little more with your eating, etc. And hopefully and probably you have done a lot of personal development during that time, and you've grown as a person, and you've also collected a set of great tools to develop yourself, and you've conquered some fears, hopefully, and learned a few new things. And then you've made some friends on our team who are just motivated for success, these driven, supportive people. You surrounded yourself with eagles, so you learn how to fly eventually, and they're just great people overall. And that, if you ask me, guys, is a win either way. Nothing to lose and so much to gain. So if that sounds pretty great, how do you start? First of all, what you do is you contact the person who invited you to this call, and you let them know what kind of coach you're thinking you want to be. Remember, we talked about discount coaches and hobby coaches and business builder coaches. And again, it doesn't have to be set in stone or anything. You might just have a general idea where you want to fall. And then you let them walk you through the sign-up process. And if you are a little more than just there for a discount, if you are a hobby or a business builder, then ask your coach, your mentor coach, to participate in the Coach Training Academy. It usually takes 3 weeks. And then request to be a challenge group apprentice. Hopefully you have a workout program to work with. And that's where you actually get the first-hand experience, what it's like to run challenge groups for people to help them with their goals. Because this business, you guys, if you're in it or thinking about joining it just to make a buck by ripping somebody off, you might as well not even consider it. This is not for you. This business is not going to work out if you don't actually care about people, because this is not about you. This is about other people's goals. You get to help them, and if you focus on that selflessly, the income will definitely follow. And how scary, one day you'll be running your own challenge groups, hopefully. So that concludes the bulk of our information that I plan on sharing with you tonight. And thank you again for being here. You are here, and that means that you already think in terms of business and, you know, success to begin with, and thinking outside the box, which is great. So let me stop the recording here, and hopefully we have a few minutes for questions that you can ask me. If you have one, I am going to unmute you. So go ahead and ask some questions. Ask away.